Hey guys, good morning. Happy Sunday. It's Daryl here. It's 10 a.m. here in Connecticut on the East Coast. Okay, as we move forward, as Donald Trump is now out of office and Joe Biden is going to be with us for the next 4 years, hopefully, I'm going to be talking about different things. One of the things I need to talk about on this channel is our social issues, but especially racism. I feel very strongly about that, and it's something I plan on focusing on this channel especially. That brings me to the point of a story about a town not 10, 15 minutes from here called Naugatuck, Connecticut. This story has been out for about 3 or 4 days now. It's gone nationwide at this point. A lot of you have probably heard the story so far. It's about the police chief, his daughter, who is now 15, but this is a story, this goes back to when she was 13 years old, and a couple of messages that she sent on Snapchat to her a friend, a 13-year-old friend who was a boy about 3 years ago. Both the boy and the police chief's daughter are 15 years old now, or 16. Okay, so this is when they were 13 years old. I'll leave the link down below. Not only is her father the police chief of Naugatuck, but her mother is the vice president of Naugatuck High School. Two very prominent parents. Now, she supposedly, allegedly sent these messages 2 or 3 years ago. She told the boy to erase them, and it was on Snapchat, so I don't know if they erase automatically. But the boy claims that he found these messages on his iCloud, and he said because of his conscience of doing the right thing, he made them public recently. What these messages say are deplorable, terrible things, racist stuff. She talks about telling her father to turn on the lights and siren and run people over. She said that her father, now that he's police chief, he's more advanced in being able to commit this act on African American people than he was a few minutes earlier. It's a terrible thing to say. I really don't even want to say it on my channel. Like I said, you could look at the link down below. More than chances are the story's already gone nationwide. Now, I can understand, without a doubt, I can understand African American people and all people being upset by this. There's calls from the NAACP and some other people for this police chief to resign. The police force is investigating it. Like I said, I feel very strongly about racism. I do, but the first thing that came to mind, I thought back to when I was a 13-year-old kid. I had the body, the urges, the drive, the physicality of a grown man, pretty much. But the mind of a child. I thought back about some of the things I did when I was 13. I broke into I did some bad stuff. I set my friend on fire. I think I set his hair on fire. I stole a car. Some terrible stuff. We make some very bad decisions at 13, 14 years old. And then I thought about my drug use, which started when I was 14. My parents, my mother, my father, my stepfather, nobody ever used any drugs or alcohol, ever. They were all completely straight. So I thought about these things. And part of me, I think about Trumpism today. I think about the people that support Donald Trump and so adamantly their feelings on Mexicans or women. And if they have children, what their kids are hearing on this, talking about grabbing women, or what these Mexicans are bringing, the diseases and the building the wall, all this what I consider terrible rhetoric that comes out of Trump and Trump supporters, and how that could affect their kids. I think about that on one hand. Is this evidence of that? Is this part of that? On the other hand, I remember who I was at, how most kids are at 13. A lot of children are at 13. Like I said, it's an incredibly dangerous and tough age. At least it was for me. I did some incredibly stupid, dangerous, illegal things at 13, 14 years old. I remember the girls and boys that I associated with at that age. I remember the girls that I hung around with at that age, and I hadn't thought about this in years, and it blew my mind. Some of the I'm thankful that I'm not a parent sometimes. I'll just say that. If I was the parent of a girl, that would be karma. That would be karma in spades. Let's just say that. I'll just leave that there. But part of me, like I said, I feel very strongly against racism, but then part of me says this was a 13-year-old kid. And not only that, but it was a 13-year-old kid talking to another 13-year-old kid of the opposite sex, where you say and do stupid things to impress the opposite sex. You don't have bad judgment. You don't have any judgment at that age, and you have it more. I remember me. I had adult drives, adult urges. Did some incredibly stupid things. I remember calling up a woman that was probably in her 20s that had been a babysitter for me. And I remember hitting on her. I was probably about 13, and how I thought this was going to play out, I don't know. I made some lewd suggestions. Thank God she took me aside and talked to me privately. And I apologized. I blamed it all on my friends, but I made some big mistakes when I was that age, so a lot of people are calling for this police chief's resignation. And I can understand the rage and the upset. People are upset about anybody saying stuff like this, especially now when this is actually happening. And is the father going to have to pay the debt for this? The parents release a statement, and it'll be in the link down below, where they say they stand by their daughter, but their daughter is already paying the price, and she's going to have to for the years to come. She's 16 years old now. She's still a kid. And, and I hate to be soft on racism here, but it is a kid. It is a kid, and we're not talking about any actions that actually happened. This for everything that it seems like it was a girl possibly trying to impress, in the wrong way, totally, but trying to impress a boy. And it looks like it might have some very serious repercussions legally for the parents, for the town, for people that were arrested by the police in this town, for the lawyers, for the defense, for a whole entire area, the state. The judgments and the legal processes that are going to come out of this are going to be huge. And it goes back to what a 13-year-old girl just spewed out off the top of her head a couple of years ago, talking to a boy when she didn't think anybody else would hear this or see it, trying to impress a boy. So I don't know. Like I said, I don't take a soft stance on racism, but what do you do with this situation? It's a tough one. Let me know what you guys think. All right. Have a good Sunday.